Have you ever looked at something you've made, you know, a beautiful piece of pottery, a cool custom t-shirt, or maybe even a digital print, and thought, hey, I could probably sell this? Well, what if you could take that creative spark, that passion project, and turn it into a real, thriving business? You know, that dream is so much closer than you think. So today, we're going to move past the what if and get right into the how-to. We are going to walk through the exact steps to launch and grow your very own creative business online, right here in the UK. And look, we're not just pulling this out of thin air. This entire guide, this complete roadmap, has been put together by the specialists at My Tax Accountant. These are the folks who live and breathe this stuff every single day. They've laid it all out for us so you can get started on the right foot. So let's dive into the plan they've made for us. We'll kick things off with the basics of what Etsy is all about. Then we'll get into building your shop, understanding the costs, and, this is a big one, navigating the crucial UK tax and legal rules, all updated for the 2025 budget. After that, we'll cover how to protect your business for the long haul, and finally, look ahead to your next chapter as a business owner. Okay, so first things first, why choose Etsy? Let's set the stage for where this whole creative journey can really take you. The thing that's really amazing here is the sheer scale. I mean, Etsy isn't some small village craft fair. It's a massive global marketplace that can connect you with over 96 million potential customers. But here's the most important part. These aren't just any customers. These are people actively searching for unique, handcrafted, special items they just can't find anywhere else. It's like having a ready-made audience just waiting for you to show up. And the platform itself is incredibly flexible. You can sell made items that you create with your own two hands. You could sell designed goods where you create the original artwork and use a production partner to bring it to life. Or maybe you're a bit of a treasure hunter. You can sell hand-picked vintage items that are over 20 years old. You can even sell sourced craft supplies to help other people get creative. There's a spot for pretty much any unique idea you can dream up. So you've got your brilliant idea. Now for the next step, building your digital shopfront. This, right here, is the moment your business starts to feel really real. Honestly, Etsy makes the initial setup surprisingly easy. Here's a pro tip. Create a separate business account from the get-go. It keeps your personal and business finances clean right from the start. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. From there, Etsy just guides you through the whole process. Set your language and currency, make sure you pick pounds sterling for your UK shop, choose a name, and then create your very first listing. You actually can't launch your shop without at least one item, so have your star product ready to go. Now, let's talk about naming your shop for a second, because this is your brand's very first impression. Keep it between 4 and 20 characters, and please make it easy for people to remember and spell. Before you commit, do a quick search and see if that name is available as a handle on Instagram and TikTok. Why? Well, you want a consistent brand everywhere, right? And this is critical. Check that it isn't already a registered trademark. You really don't want any legal headaches later on. And hey, if you're feeling a bit nervous about getting started, just listen to this from a real seller. I spent 4 years fantasizing about opening a shop. What was I waiting for? The truth is, perfection is the enemy of progress. You can always tweak and improve as you go. The most important thing you can do is just begin. You only find out what works by actually doing it. All right, your shop is live. Now the real fun begins. It's time to master the marketplace, and that really means understanding the numbers. That's not all. This is where a lot of people go wrong. This brings us to the big one, the question every single new seller asks. What are the fees and how much money will you actually make from each sale? Stay with me, this is exactly where so many new sellers get caught out if they haven't done their homework. Okay, let's break this down. For every single item you list, there's a flat 16p listing fee. Simple enough. When you make a sale, Etsy takes a 6.5% transaction fee. And here's the detail you can't miss. That's on the total amount the customer pays, and that includes the postage. Then you've got the payment processing fee, which is 4% plus 20p for every transaction. And finally, for us UK sellers, there's a tiny 0.32% regulatory operating fee also on the total sale price. So what does that all mean in the real world? Well, if you sell an item for £20, after all those fees are taken out, you're left with about £17.02. And here's the thing, that is your revenue, not your profit. This is before you even think about the cost of your materials, your packaging, your shipping, and most importantly, your time. The bottom line is, you have to price your products for profit, knowing these fees are coming out. And speaking of costs, this quote just nails a huge potential pitfall. One seller's first international sale cost them more than double in shipping what they charged the customer. Can you imagine? It's a total nightmare scenario. So always weigh your fully packaged items and get accurate postage quotes before you list them, especially if you're shipping internationally. Here are a few other classic mistakes to try and avoid. First, don't waste your money on ads until you've nailed your organic search engine optimization. That's your keywords and titles. Good SEO brings you free traffic for months, even years. Second, never use copyrighted stuff. No Disney characters, no band logos, nothing. It's illegal, and it can get your shop shut down in a heartbeat. Be super clear in your shop policies, and please, don't underprice your work. Value your craft. And finally, fill out your About page. A complete shop just builds trust instantly. Okay, now let's move into the bit that can feel, well, a little scary, but it is absolutely essential. Turning your shop into a proper legal business. Getting your UK tax and legal stuff right from day one is totally non-negotiable. So, in the UK, you've basically got two main choices. You can be a sole trader, which is by far the simplest option. You and the business are legally the same thing, which means you're personally on the hook for any debts. Or you can set up a limited company. This creates a separate legal entity, protecting your personal assets, but it definitely comes with more paperwork. Honestly, most people start out as a sole trader, just for its simplicity. Now let's talk tax. This is a number every new seller needs to tattoo on their brain. £1,000. This is your tax-free trading allowance for the 2025-26 tax year. So what on earth does that mean? Well, if your total profit, and I mean profit, not revenue, from your Etsy shop in a tax year is less than £1,000, you might not need to find a tax return for it. But, and this is the part that catches so many people out, you must register with HMRC as a sole trader as soon as you start trading. It doesn't matter how much you earn, that is a legal requirement you cannot skip. And this isn't just some old advice we dug up. The 2025 budget has just confirmed that these rules are firmly in place. As the experts at My Tax Accountant will tell you again and again, getting this sorted from the very beginning will save you a world of pain and stress later on. Here is another key number to keep an eye on as your business grows. If your total sales, your turnover, goes over £90,000 in any rolling 12-month period, you are legally required to register for VAT. Now, it might seem like a long way off, but it is so important to keep this figure on your radar as you expand. Okay, here's a practical tip that could be a real lifesaver. If that dreaded brown envelope from HMRC ever lands on your doormat, the number one rule is, do not panic, but do not ignore it. You usually have 30 days to respond. Just systematically gather your records, download your sales data from Etsy, find all your receipts, calculate your actual profit, and prepare a clear, professional reply. Honesty and speed are your best friends in this situation. Right, with those legal foundations solidly in place, let's shift our focus to protecting your business and setting it up for some real, sustainable growth. This isn't just about making sales, it's about building a brand that can last. Remember, you're not just a creator now, you're a retailer, which means you have to follow UK law. The Consumer Rights Act means your products have to be exactly as you describe them. So if you sell a solid oak frame, it better be solid oak. Customers also usually get a 14-day cooling off period to cancel online orders. Under UK GDPR, you have to have a privacy policy. And if you sell anything like toys, candles, or cosmetics, they have to meet super strict UK safety standards. This is a question we hear all the time. I'm just working from my kitchen table in London. Do I really need insurance? And the short answer is, yeah, you very likely do. And stay with me because this next point might surprise you. Your standard home insurance policy almost certainly does not cover your business activities, your stock, or your equipment. There are a few key types you should think about. Public liability covers you if someone, say a delivery driver, trips over a box of your stock and injures themselves. Product liability is absolutely crucial. It protects you if, for example, a candle you sell causes a fire. And business contents insurance covers your stock and all your equipment if it's stolen or damaged. It's really all about managing risk, so one little accident doesn't sink the entire business you've worked so hard to build. Wow, we have covered a huge amount of ground today, so let's bring it all together and start looking towards your future as a successful, thriving Etsy seller. Okay, here it is, your final launch checklist. First, get registered with HMRC from day one. Understand all your fees so you can price for actual profit. Work on your photos and keywords so people can find you. Follow the rules on tax and consumer rights, and get the right insurance to protect everything you've built.
Nail these things and you are well on your way.
Now, it's really important for me to say that all the information we've gone through today is for general guidance. Tax and legal rules can be pretty complex, and they really depend on your own specific situation.
So, before you make any big financial decisions, it is always a smart move to talk to an expert. The specialists at My Tax Accountant are ready to give you advice that's tailored specifically for your new Etsy business and any other tax questions you might have. You can reach them on 0208 570 8531, or you can email them at info@mytaxaccountant.co.uk.
So, there you have it. We have walked through the entire roadmap, from a simple idea to a fully protected, legally compliant business. The only question left is, what will you create today?